Hello, everyone. I'm Eric from Sports 365. Here with me once again is my colleague Alex. So, I have a little bit more news to talk about as far as league goes. There hasn't been that much news, but there's been a little bit. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, there's been talk for a while that there needed to be a third team to facilitate a Damian Lillard trade to the Heat. Already spoken about how the Nets and the Spurs were interested, but apparently now the Clippers might be that third team to take on Tyler Hero. I think that's kind of surprising to me because I didn't even think that Clippers had many assets left to trade at this point, but it's definitely an interesting development in this Damian Lillard trade saga. So, what are your thoughts on the Clippers emerging as a potential third team in the Damian Lillard trade?
Yeah, I was surprised to see that because, as you said, the Clippers don't really have very many assets. And also, kind of hard to see where Hero would fit into their team. And I suppose he would be a backup, but he's certainly good enough to be a starter, and he's on starter level money, that's for sure. So, I'm not sure I totally buy the Clippers as a potential third team in this trade. I think both the Nets and the Spurs are far more likely third teams in the potential Lillard trade.
Yeah, I think the Clippers being involved in that trade is kind of weird to me. As I said, I don't know about their assets. I don't know how well Hero would actually fit into their team either, and I'm sure he would not be too happy with coming off the bench at this point. Just understandable. He's more than good enough to be an NBA starter, at the very least. So I don't really know if that would work. I think the Nets or the Spurs being involved in the trade makes a lot more sense to me because I can see how it would fit into either of those teams much more easily. But I guess we'll have to see what happens. I guess it could work depending on what the Clippers are willing to give up to be part of the trade. But I guess we'll just see what happens. So he obviously haven't made any more signings yet. Obviously, right now they're just focused on trading for Damian Lillard. But of course, there are still rumors about players that they're interested in, and one of those players is Christian Wood. Reportedly, the Bulls and the Lakers are also interested in signing him. He wouldn't pretty much just be able to offer him a veteran minimum contract at this point, but I think he could be a good addition to the team. So, what are your thoughts on the Heat's interest in signing Christian Wood?
Yeah, I mean, he's not an overly exciting player, but he would be a decent backup. I'd be happy if we signed him. Not overjoyed, 'cause it's not like he's a superstar or anything, but he can contribute, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he could definitely help the team. Obviously, defensively he's not the best, but he can definitely shoot and score, and provides a bit of rebounding and size as well. So I think he could fit in the team. Again, some other teams could offer him some more money than the Heat, so let's see what happens. But apparently that's pretty that he's interested in, and definitely one that they would reportedly pursue if they actually do get a trade done. So the Heat also are done with Summer League. Finished their Summer League campaign already. Of course, we already talked about Jokic and Hakas both playing well. Orlando Robinson also played well in Summer League, and could possibly be a contributor for the Heat next season. So what are your thoughts on Wayne Robinson doing well in the Summer League and his possible contributions to Heat next season?
Yeah, glad to see him do well in Summer League. Wasn't expecting too much from him this season, but I mean, we certainly need all the contributors, on relatively cheap contracts that we can get. So it would definitely help if Owen Robinson could, be a solid role player for the coming season.
Yeah, I agree. I think you definitely help as well. I mean, more depth at center really is where you'd be playing, and would be helpful. Of course, Summer League is not the real NBA. Obviously, there's a big difference between those two things. So playing well in Summer League doesn't mean that you play well in the actual regular season, but I think he could be a good role player, and as you said, I think the relatively cheap contract as well. So you have to see how the Heat move forward, and if he does become part of the team, then hopefully he plays well next season. Well, there you have it. Bit of a slower week for Heat news, but still a few things to cover. Clippers possibly being the third team in Damian Lillard trade. He might be looking to sign Christian Wood if possible, especially if they trade for Damian Lillard. And Hunter Robinson did well in Summer League, so about to see what happens moving forward, and hopefully he can really make some progress on Damian Lillard trade and at least get that done for training camp so they can more fully integrate him in the team and also rebuild their depth with some role player signings.
Yep.